Welcome back to the Behind the Line of Scrimmage, Episode 3. We've officially made it to Episode 3. A lot of news today for the Big Ten. That's going to be our focal point today. I'm joined by my partner, Cody Minks. What's up?
Not a lot, man.
Not a lot?
Not a lot, man.
Okay.
My cat died, man.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not a joke. I don't know where
I didn't mean to laugh.
You were definitely...
No, but you always make jokes like that. Okay.
Yeah,
We got to talk about Michigan. Michigan is the story of the Big Ten right now. Besides Ohio State we talked about in our first episode. But before we talk about them, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave comments in the comments. We need your comments for content on our next episodes. Please make sure to do that. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Thank you for all you guys do. And let's get into Episode 3.
Jim Harbaugh has left Michigan.
Yep.
He is now the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers with Justin Herbert, looking to build up and fulfill his destiny, his goals of being a head coach of a Super Bowl winning team there. His replacement, it's not coming far at all. Sharon Moore, offensive coordinator, who was the interim head coach for 6 games this year, led them into impressive wins, especially over Ohio State would be the most notable. Jim is leaving the program in good hands, leaving it to another Michigan man.
With every good corner, there is a bad corner. And that means that Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator of the Michigan Wolverines, has headed to Los Angeles as well, along with their strength and conditioning coach, which I have seen on Twitter. That is a big loss for them. He's going to be their strength and conditioning coach of the Chargers. So that means Sharon Moore has to rebuild on his staff, which is very tough to do. Not tough to do at Michigan. But I heard a lot of Michigan fans are not happy with this result. So, being that Michigan has lost these key pieces on their staff, they're retaining Sharon Moore, as we know. I mean, where are they going to be in this new Big Ten era?
I've already talked about it. I was a little harsh on Michigan in the past episode. And I've looked back and I've realized that this team's got depth. They've got guys that could be starting at other places. They're just waiting in the shadows, waiting to get their opportunity there. I honestly think this year, you're not going to be maybe a title contender, but I do expect them to be in the playoff hunt, fighting for a playoff spot come the end of the year. I thought that they were really going to fall off a lot harder than they have. Looks like most of it has stayed intact for the most part. It's what we've expected.
Okay, I'm going to rattle off some teams here, okay? Yep. And you're going to tell me, would you take Michigan over this team in this current new Big Ten, okay? Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with Ohio State.
Last 2 years, they've got the edge. This year, it's more of a coin flip. Going off entry-level vibes. Ohio State, they want this. And I know they've wanted the past 3 years. But they have gone out and showed that they're doing everything they can to give this game. I'm going to give that edge to Ohio State as of right now.
Okay. What about Oregon?
Oregon's used to playing in tough environments. I think I'd take Oregon. Close. If they played this year, I would not be as surprised if a Michigan win as compared to Ohio State. Everyone talks about this adaptation that, all these new teams are going to have. Welcome to the Big Ten. I think they'll do just fine where they're projected, what they're expected to do. Sure, later in the year, they might have to get more used to these just ugly games that a lot of these teams play, but I think 2 games in, they'll be used to it. They'll be ready to go, and they'll have their footing down. Oregon overall has a higher talented roster.
Yep. Looking
into the season as of right now. They've got more proven guys right now.
Yeah.
That's why I'm giving Oregon the edge. Michigan, it's a lot of new guys, a lot of new blood coming in. Come the season end, I would not be surprised if it's a whole different story if we're saying, hey, look at so-and-so from Michigan.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised at that. But as of right now, I'd take Oregon.
Next, Penn State.
Penn State. James Franklin. I'm taking Michigan over Penn State.
Okay, so that's where you're drawing your line? Like, you're going to take Ohio State and Oregon. Those are the teams that's going to beat Michigan. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, they're not going to be able to beat them.
That's why I put it at, yeah.
Okay.
I think Penn State, I've said it before, Penn State's a team that has to prove it to me.
Yeah.
Until they can win that marquee game, I'm not going to believe in them. They have let me down every single time I have done that. I am not going to put my blind faith into the team that has yet to do that. Once they do that and they accomplish that, I will jump on that bandwagon. But until then, I'm not riding with Penn State. Every big game they have, Ohio State, Michigan, when they came to Iowa a couple years ago, it's just a failure every single time. They fall just short. Until they can get past that hump and they can get a win, I will buy stock. But until then, I just cannot believe in them. I would have Michigan probably third, maybe fourth place in the new Big Ten.
Looking at Michigan in 2024, it is going to be a tough schedule for first-year head coach Sharon Moore. Texas, week 2. That is going to be a fun game to watch. I can't wait to watch it. USC in week 4. At Washington in week 5, Oregon in week 8. And then, of course, at Ohio State for the game. That is going to be a fun game to watch. We are kind of uncertain, really, if Michigan is going to be that 11-0 team coming to the game. But we know it's going to be a good rivalry, and it always is.
It's really about getting those guys ready. I mean, you got week 2. You are not going to be the same team in week 2 as you are in week 15. You are still finding your footing, especially with such new pieces coming in all over the field on both sides of the ball. I think you might expect a little bit slow of a start. Granted, they get Fresno State, who has been a fairly consistent group of 5 team. Week 2, you get Texas coming in. That's going to be top 5, top 7 team coming in week 2.
Yep.
Who was just in the playoffs last year. That team is reloaded. They're coming back. They want to repeat. They want more success and get themselves pumped up for the SEC play. I think that's going to be very, very tough of Michigan. I don't think that game will define their season at all. Everyone's going to start writing them off if they do lose that game. If they win that game, Michigan stock is through the roof.
Yep.
But I think they'll get written off pretty early on if they lose at Texas and saying, oh, they're not going to beat Ohio State. And then they'll be playing with a chip on their shoulder the rest of the year is what I would presume would happen if they were to lose that. But going through the rest of the schedule, it's favorable. I mean, October 5th, you go to Washington. I think that game is kind of where your benchmark is in the new Big Ten. It's how you perform in that game right there. That's halfway through your season. Everyone's already kind of adjusted to their roles. Everyone's stepping into play. I would expect this team to either be 10-1 and 8-3. 10-1 at best. I feel that it's so early in the season with all these new guys coming in there. It's a big game. To start off the season with. You get it at home in one of the toughest venues in all of college football. That's a benefit. But this Texas team has experience.
For me, it kind of reminds me, ironically enough, of when Oregon came into the shoe a couple years ago and beat Ohio State. Ohio State loaded. Oregon unexperienced a little bit. They somehow beat Ohio State without Kayvon Thibodeau. That game, oh my goodness. But it's kind of reversed this time. Texas, the more experienced team, they just got Isaiah Bond in the portal. That's a really good get for them. Bring back Quinn Ewers, obviously. That's going to be a good game. I kind of agree with Cody here. I think Texas is going to get the better of them in week 2. They're going to be the better team, deeper team. Probably the better coach at the time. But if they do get to like 10-1 playing Ohio State, I think that's a success for the first-year head coach, Sharon Moore. I think that's what you're looking for. But it's your first year, right? You're not getting the recruits that you want. You're not getting all these guys that you need. A couple other things in the Big Ten that we'll just mention as we wrap up here. Indiana and Penn State have already scheduled their spring games.
Almost there.
I can't wait to watch those.
It's just a quarter away.
Yeah, and we're going to be reporting them. That is all we're going to have for today. Thank you guys for watching. Just reporting a little bit on the Big Ten. Like, comment, subscribe, like we talked about later. Comment, please. We need your comments for more content. We'll use it. Make sure you trigger that notification bell. We appreciate you guys. He appreciates you. R.I.P. Cat Dog.
R.I.P. Cat Dog.
Shout out Cat Dog.
Guys, comments down below. The odds on the next cat here. I need a name. I've actually already got one picked out. I do have one already picked out, ready to go. Cat Dog, like everyone else in the world, everyone's replaceable.
So, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Sorry it's a little bit shorter, but we figured we wanted to get this one faster. We will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.